Hello YouTube and welcome back to Allie's Wonderland Creations. I am Alice Seraphin and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. So welcome to my channel everybody. Okay, Paper Pumpkin, right? Here we go. Paper Pumpkin video number 2 for October 2023's Paper Pumpkin kit called Home for the Holidays. Set this aside for the moment. I've done prep work on this, but this still might be a little bit because there's a lot of stuff going on in this one. Hopefully it comes out is what I think in my head. So this is the, hopefully you guys can see this, the flyer instruction sheet for this month's kit. It shows you pictures of the cards. You get to do 8. On the back here, it has the QR code you can scan. It shows you other projects you can do. It shows you everything in the kit. It lists the coordinating colors, which are Balmy Blue, Cherry Cobbler, Crumb Cake, Crushed Curry, Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lolly, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Old Olive, and Pecan Pie. I didn't think about Pecan Pie, but anyways. And it was kind of funny. They listed Cherry Cobbler is the red, but they gave us a real red spot. Go figure. So anyways, let me show you what else is in the kit. So this is a look at the looks like there should be this way. Let's look at the stamp sets. The stamp set, what it says. Celebrate the wonder and joy of this festive season. It has this little snow, a wee little tree, 3 little tiny snowflakes, and these are tiny, guys. I mean, there's my nail, right? This little tree or bush, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, in this little house. I did not think I was going to use these, and I did today. And I even fussy cut even this little tiny thing out. I did. Kind of crazy, I know. Okay. I need to put my towel down there. Let's show you what comes in the kit. So you get this beautiful glimmer paper, right? You get a tree with a star, a tree without a star, a double tree. And I'm saying this so when I say, okay, tree with the star, you know it's this one. This is without the star. This is the double tree. These 2 houses, this house, these 4 in this sentiment strip. Now, what else here? Don't throw this away. I'm not using it on this project, but I know I'm going to use it. And don't throw away this one if you follow me, because I'm going to make a card with that. Don't know yet what, but I'm going to make a card with that. This, we're going to stamp on this today. I already used scratch paper, but you can use this. So this is the envelope. And this is one of the 2 card bases. Beautiful night winter sky there. Let's put it this way. And this is the other card base. And the envelopes are white. I have an idea. Oh, yeah. So many ideas, and I'm afraid I'm going to forget them. So I said we're going to stamp on this. So let's leave that out. Now let's go over what you're going to need. So let's put this aside. You are going to need a card base. I've already done work on the card base. Nope, that's for video number 1. This is video number 2. It might help if this is video number 1. This is video number 2 right here. So let's go over this. So I call it, this is my box card. I love making this fold, guys. And I have ideas for a couple of different ways of utilizing this. So we will be making more than one of these with this kit. I can already tell you. So HFT Holidays, Home for the Holidays Paper Pumpkin Kit. Card base is Orchid Oasis. I really liked the Orchid Oasis with the color scheme from my video number 1 card, so I'm going with it again. This is 4 1/4 by 11. It is scored at 2.5, at 5, at 7.5, and at 10. Those of you who are familiar might recognize this fold. I think it's gonna do really well. I'm using shimmery white. You don't have to use your shimmery white, but I wanted to mix it up. So we're using shimmery white And you're going to need 4 pieces for the 4 different panels, 1, 2, 3, and 4 at 2 1/4 by 4. We're going to do some stamping on there. You might see some that I started. Scrap, and this is 1 1/2 by 2 1/2. You're going to cut 2 of them, and you're going to stamp home for the holiday, happy holidays, and where's some scratch paper? I'll give you a look. So here it is, right? And this is going to be in real red. I've already done this, but I'm just going to give you an example, show you what we're doing. But I've already stamped it and cut it apart. So I really wanted this super close to the edge. And it was easier to cut it to this size. I tried it another way, and it was easier to cut it to the 1 1/2 by 2 1/2. And then what I did is I got my guillotine, because I can't cut straight. Y'all know that. So I got the guillotine out. And I cut off the Mary just like that. The first time I did this, I had to go back and trim it and trim it, trim it. It was easier to do it this way. I'm going to keep these 2 because I will probably use them again. So I'm going to stick them in my little bin. And we don't need to do the Merry Christmas. So we just did that bit. So the next is, it says you're going to add this. You're going to add this piece after you stamp it to a piece of 5/8 by 1 inch. You're going to add the Merry and the Happy Old Olive, and you're going to need 2. Here's one of them. This is what I'm talking about. I just backed it with Old Olive. You did both Happy and Merry with that one. And then you're going to add to another piece of Old Olive, 5/8 by 1 5/8, the holidays and the Christmas that you cut apart. I'm going to set those aside. You're going to need 2 of those. Now, we're going to stamp the perfectly plaid Christmas tree. Let me bring this stamp set in. This is retired one. Any tree would work, but I'm using this tree. Stamped it in black memento on a piece of white. Let me try to put this up like this for you. So I stamped it in white, in black memento, and I fussy cut it. I didn't punch it. I fussy cut it because it's going to layer up. Let me give you a look. Here's one of our panels. It's going to layer up onto that Old Olive. So we're going to color this one in together. So scrap of white fussy cut. You're going to need to do this too. Punch the perfectly plaid Christmas tree punch in Old Olive. You're going to need 2, and we're going to glue those together. Then we are going to stamp 2 little houses. Here's my little houses on scrap paper. I've already colored them in. I'm going to show you how I colored them in a minute. Stamp at least 2 houses from the kit in black memento and color using the blends. It says both the house and the trees because I'm using blends for the trees and for the houses. So the colors I've chosen to use are Old Olive, Cherry Cobbler, Purple Posy. Yes, any purple would work. It's just the one I grabbed and I didn't even, until I had it in my hands, I didn't know what color it was. Gray Granite, Daffodil Delight, and Boho Blue. Then, we're not done yet, guys, okay? So then we're going to stamp those little tiny trees. And I do mean scrap paper. So we're going to do the houses in a minute. See my little tree? Look at how tiny that little thing is. And I used a, where's that scrap paper I was going to use? We'll go ahead and use it. But let me set that aside. I'm not going to let that little tree go to waste. So here we go. We're going to use the back of our card. We're using Old Olive for this. And I need my blender pen. My really super duper old one that needs probably to be in the garbage, but it is still being useful, so I'm not going to get rid of it. So here we go. Will this one fit anywhere? Oh, it will. Told you, don't throw this stuff away. So here's one tree. And take the blender pen and I'm just rubbing over it. Now I'm going to dip it in the corner and I'm going to go around the outside of the tree. Just making like little strokes because I got to fussy cut this little thing out anyway, so. Then I'm going to come in and dab those little bits, just adding a little bit more to my tree. So that's the large one. I only did one of those, but let's do this teeny tiny one, and you're going to see just, you can use this. This is usable. It is very, very usable. Smear the ink around, right? Dip it in there, and I'm just brushing around the outside, and then I'm gonna dab in the center of the tree with the old olive, and then I fussy cut this out. So I'm gonna set that aside, probably show that again because I'll probably do that some more. Are we done? Fussy cut. Yes, you will need one large tree, if you can call it large. It's no bigger than my thumbnail. Come on. Look at that. And I got my nails done. He did a gorgeous job. My daughter paid $100 for me to have my nails. We did not get to decorate for Halloween. This is the closest I'm going to get to Halloween decorations right here. I told her, I said, whoa, I will never do that again. I will never have something on every nail. Never. Hers cost twice that much. But hers are really... the lady hand painted on her nails. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's get started. Now, I'm going to walk you through this fold. I need this. I need my Stampin' Pierce mat. Put that up there. So this is 4 1/4 by 11. It's, you know, standard cut, right? You don't have to cut it twice, just down the center. Then we're going to start at 2 1/2, and we're going to score. We're going to move it to 5. We're going to score. We're going to move it to 7 1/2 and score. And then down at 10, and it's going to leave us this 1 inch mark there. So that makes our fold. I scored it already. You ready to see what I did so far? I did stamping. Imagine that. We stamped. Okay, so we took, because I'm not going to, I had to take this in and clean it. I took Whisper White. You could use, do you remember that Delicata Silver ink? I need to re-ink my ink pad, but I'm thinking about bringing that out for this kit. So if you have it and you want to make, you might want to pull that out because I think I am. This worked really, really well. If you don't have any, if you don't have the itty bitty backgrounds or any other little splotchy images, you could use this over and over again to do the same thing we're going to do today. But I'm using, just because it's easier to have different stamps. So I took this in white and I stamped it 1, 2, and 3. I stamped it 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3. And I did that all the way over. Just right to here. Then I took it across the top and did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a wee bit like that. And I did that across the bottom. I made sure that I got here, 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 all the way across with this little stamp. I'm going to hold this up so you can get a better look at it. And then I took the wee little snowflake in Orchid Oasis and I stamped in all the corners, in the centers, and then in between the center ones, all through it. This is just adding a little bit more to it. So now we can start working on our panels. Or no, let's color the houses. Let me show you. We have to color our tree here. So let me get my little dish here of all my things. My blender pens that I used. And it doesn't matter which one you start with, but I have light and dark. gray granite. So for the dark, let me find the bullet tip. I did the little chimneys of the houses, just like that. Set that one aside. I want that little bit. And then I took the light and I did the roof. And you guys know I am not a coloring expert, but what is nice about the blends is you don't get the streaks when it dries. So I just colored in my rooftops. There's that one. This one. I'm not trying to be an expert color person. We're just coloring our houses. So that's the gray. Oh, we still need the gray again. Let's finish. We are going to color this bit of the windows. I'm forgetting what that's called. The shutters. We're coloring the shutters with the lights. And I will fussy cut these little houses out and I will be using them. So there you have it. Oh, the door. Why? I should switch to the bullet end, but we're already here. So let's just color our door. I am going to add the dark to the center panels of the door. Don't forget in here, in the center of the wreath of the door, don't forget to do that. And of course, you can choose any colors you want to color your houses. This just happens to be what I chose. I do not have the Orchid Oasis blends. Those are not my forte on colors there, though they do come in handy. I just chose not to purchase those. All right, so now the houses are done. Back to the dark. I guess I'm gonna go around this bit and in the center here, because the bow is gonna be cherry cobbler. Oops, I almost forgot that center line. Just around the actual door part. So we got to do it one more time in the center. There you have it. So, oh, and these little, I just put a couple little dots in here. I'm not trying to get every single mark. I just put some dots on it to give it a little bit of added depth. All right, so that's the basic gray. Let's go on to our greenery. Now I showed you here, this is where I added the dark old olive. I did a V. I did this little angle, this little angle in the ends. So I did that angle, this angle here, here, and here. And then no more of that. The rest is all light. So I took my light, which I need a new one, and I scribbled. You hear it. Scribble, 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 scribble. And I did the wreath. I didn't add any dark to the wreath. The wreath is small enough as it is. My goodness. All right. Scribble, 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 scribble. I will not be coloring these again, hopefully. Not on camera anyways, because I think this will cover it. I will refer back to this video if you want to see how I colored the houses. Next, we did Daffodil Delight. Now, I'm going to tell you, you can use light or dark. It's up to you. I chose the light, but you could use the dark. Light to inside these wreaths. And don't forget this part of the door. My door is like that, my front door. So that's all there is to that. And next we're going to take cherry cobbler. And literally you just like can dab it on there. It is so small. I used to have wreaths like this on every window, and then I don't know what happened to them. They got ruined. They were artificial wreaths, and hanging them up became a pain. So now we're going to go to the boho blue. We're going to do with the dark. You can see I did up here. I did this little bit here. You can do the L thing like I did or not. It's up to you. I did under the window, a little bit here, here, here. And let's do that again. So we're going to do up in that bit, this bit, because when you blend it out, you can do here, 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 under the window definitely, and there. And that's how I did the dark. Next is the light. And I will say that this works out pretty darn well. Now watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go outside the lines on purpose, because when I fussy cut, I want that blue all the way around the house. It makes it pop. It really does. I could have used balmy blue. I did buy a new balmy blue. I just didn't pull it off the shelf. So I'm going all the way around my house. So when I fussy cut this out, there will be no white. Like I said, you can go lighter around it with balmy blue, light balmy blue, but yeah, I already have the boho blue out. Why not? Turn it this way. I know this is taking time. I know some of you guys are like, I gotta fast forward this and just see what she does. But for those of you who want to see how I colored my houses, that is why I'm showing this. I won't be showing it again. I'll refer you back to this video. Color in the house. I think it goes really well with the Orchid Oasis too that I'm using. All right, I already fussy cut my houses out. So there is a look at how I colored all of my little houses for this kit. So let's go on to the Christmas tree. I'm going to set that to the bottom of the bin. We are starting, this time we are using the dark. So I'm doing one here, and I'm doing a little yellow on every branch. This one's going to have 2, this one 3. 1, 2, 1. Let's do this one here. 1, 2, 1. This one's going to have 3 there and right there. That's the dark. Here's that purple posy, right? So here's some right there. Let's see. We're just making it look like Christmas tree lights, or at least I hope we're making it look that way. That's what my intention is here. All right. Let's go ahead and go with the blue. I can go back in. I'm just making sure I got a color on all the branches. Let's see, this one needs at least another one there, and maybe right there. We don't need the light or dark, just choose one of the two. No gray on this one, but we are going to go Old Olive, and we're going to use the dark to do some lights there, there. Let's go ahead and we already did the yellow. Now it's the red, the cherry cobbler red. And then we're going to be ready to put our card together. Let's see, there. And there. And there's our little lighted Christmas tree. I know this was a lot of stuff going on, but it's going to make a really cute little card. I'm just positive of it. So this piece is now going to the punched out version of the tree. And I have a dimensional already on the back of my little punched out version of the tree. So there's that. So next you need to figure out, when you put this card together like so, this is the back of my card. So this is the front of my card. So this side panel and this center panel are the side panels of my card. This one that we just stamped, this is panel number 1 that I already had prepped. X ... And I sponged around the edge, and I'm going to show you how I did this. But this is why I did prep work, guys. This is why. So this is what we're working on. I already took that little tiny snowflake, and it is super tiny, guys. And I stamped it all over, leaving some white space. So let me show you. I stamped it like 3 different times all over there. We're going to leave that alone. And now we're going to bring in Balmy Blue. And this is where my itty bitty backgrounds, like I said, you can clean this off and just use this. But this one has the little circles. And we are going to stamp off twice. And then stamp, 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 stamp. Stamp off twice, stamp, 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 stamp off twice, stamp, stamp, stamp. We're building our scenery here. Now we're going to come in back with Orchid Oasis with another one of this. This really does look like falling snow. I'm going to stamp off twice and stamp, stamp, stamp off twice, stamp, stamp, stamp off twice, stamp, stamp. There is my background, and it's on shimmery paper. I think it's a really cool effect. I think it came out really well, but then I'm prejudiced. It's my card. Some people might think it's a little too busy, but here we go. Now we're going to take our sponge dauber in Orchid Oasis. Yes, I want to sponge off the excess. I don't want too much on there. And I'm going to go all the way around the edge and lose the sponge dauber in the process. And it's best if you get 2 fingers behind in the thumb. It does really, really help. You can hear that flick, 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 flick. So there's that one. We are going to put our tree in the center. And then Merry in Christmas. Here's Christmas. And then Merry. Is right there. And now we're going to glue this one in its place. Little squiggle though. There, no X ... So there's that one in place. Now, you could use any twine, anything you want to do. I have this really sparkly something or other stuff that's in red. I'm going to tell you what it is. This is from, look at this, it's from an ornament that I didn't use these for the Christmas ornament, and they happen to be sitting in my drawer. So that's what I decided to make my bows with. You guys are probably laughing at some of the stuff I come up with, some of the stuff I use. I can't help myself when I see it in there. It just kind of like, oh, that would work. And I can't help, sometimes I do get rid of stuff. Sometimes I don't. You know, sometimes I can't think, can't help but think, oh, I could use that. Could I use that? And then it's like, oh yes, I definitely could. So here's my bow. Gonna use a glue dot. Oops, glue, not good. Where's my rack? So we have two more panels. We have the back panel and the front panel. Now the back panel is going to be really simple. We're just going to go around the edge in Orchid Oasis. I'm not stamping. Oh, we could stamp. Let's see. We're going to stamp. Remember that little holly leaf from video number 1? Where's the old olive? We're going to go ahead and stamp that on here just because we can. So one down here in this corner. But I don't want too much. It's a real small space to write anything on, and I don't want too much on it. So that's why. So this is my back panel, and that's going down. And you don't... There's a lot of air in my bottle. That's why it does that. Because it's almost empty. X, barely. So, this is our back panel to write on, sign your name, to and from, all that fun stuff. Now for this panel. Now this panel, we are going to use that Orchid Oasis again, because I have an idea. I'm going to make a couple little like snowdrifts to start off with. So this is literally a piece of paper out of my recycle bin. I'm going to take it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to bend it this way, bend it that way. I'm just tearing it. I'm making me a little snowdrift. So I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to use that Orchid Oasis. And I'm going to flick up like this. I'm going to go... Do you see this motion? That's what I'm doing. Oops. Oh, I do like it. It could be used for Northern Lights too, if we wanted to. But I just want a little bit of snowdrifts. I like that. I like it a lot. So then I'm going to take another piece like this. Let's see. And make, I think, another snowdrift. So just little ones, just little movements. You could do that Northern Lights. If you did it this way, it would look like Northern Lights. But I'm just bringing in one of my little houses. There's one's going to go here. One's going to go here. So I want another little line down here. So let's flip it over this way and make it go the other direction. Building our scenery. That will work. And we have, let's see, my little houses go just like this. So I'm going to need another one back up here. So let's use this one. Just all the different torn sides here. We're going to go like this. I'm going to do the flicking, little, just flick of the wrist. Oh, love it. Absolutely perfect. So now, this little house is going to go right down here, I know for sure. This little one is going to come up like here, and this is where our little trees come in. I want one little tree here, but I want to stamp a tree right in this. That's why I'm placing this, because it's helping me to see where I want my other tree at. So I'm going to take this. Where's my blender pen, my super old one? Have it handy. So this one is going to go right about there. So hold that down. Well, I just moved everything. That's okay. So there's that. And then I'm going to take my little blender brush here, and I'm going to blend that ink around. I'm going to take the little one. I'm going to do a little one there and another one over there. And I'm going to do the same. I'm going to blend them in because it needed to be a little bit longer. Now, the same thing what I showed you on the trees, I'm going to take it on the edge and darken around the trees. Do in the center of them, just adding a little bit more color. Oh, that came out really, really nice. Sometimes I get so surprised that things work out for me. Oh, but I love this. Absolutely love it. So we have our 3 little trees I got to get off here. I'm wondering, do we put these up on dimensionals? Probably. So let's stick them down here for the moment. And let's take this off so we can see what we just created. Oh, we have to stamp the sentiment. I almost forgot. Celebrate the wonder and joy of this festive season in real red. Then we're going to add a few little snowflakes. Just 1 or 2 probably. So we're going to have 1 chance at this. So I'm going to put it right there. And it's crooked, but it's going to be okay. I'm not going to even try to fix it. Oh, I'm not even going to try. It's going to be just fine. So, Orchid Oasis, the little snowflakes. We're going to add one here. Add one there. And we're going to add one down there. All right, now let's get our little trees on. So I need some dimensionals here. We're going to do that triangle thing. I always say that, the triangle thing. You could use minis, but we're going to go for it. And we're going to line this up right at the edge. That's number 1. Oops. Needs to come down a little bit more. All right. Number 2 is going to be way up there. Looks like number 2 needs to get tucked down in here. So number 2 is not getting any dimensionals. Number 2 doesn't even want the glue to come out. Just do that. All right, all the way to the edge. I wanted it down here. There. There's my 2 little houses. This little one is going to get a wee little mini dimensional if I can find them. It's going to get 2. Backings and tuck that one down in there. Oh, most definitely. And the other ones are going to go in here. So I know I want at least 1. Let's see. Do little tiny strips here. So this little one is going to go right there. Goes wee all the way home, right? All right. Quit being silly, right? No, never. Never, ever, ever. So then we're going to have another one. Maybe that's all. No, I do want one more, but I think he's going to go glued down. I think he is going to get a glue dot and go like right there. maybe, if I can get him out of there now. He's like, I want to be on the card. You will be. Just give me a minute. You're going to get a glue dot. You're special. You're a special wee little tree. And I can't believe I fussy cut these little suckers out. These are tiny, guys. Look at that. It is smaller than my pinky nail. All right. So maybe I'll put this one. I think this one has to go over. Come out. I want this one here, right there, and this one then is going to come over. I could have moved that one up a little bit. Will it come off? I don't know. Nope, it's not going to come off. It's stuck there. It's there. That's where it wants to be. So cute. I wish that was straighter, but look at all that. Isn't that festive? That's a festive card. Now, we can pop this whole thing up on dimensionals if you want, but I will tell you, this will make it bulky, so it is not going to go, it's not going to do that. At least this mine isn't going to do that. You could. X ... Oh, guys, this card is so cute. And for my Aunt Carol, I took her the supplies. Now, she has to do her own fussy cut. But I punched her out some trees. I forgot to do this part, so I'll have to give those to her when I see her on Wednesday. But she has to do the rest of the stuff. I took her the card base, the shimmery white, a couple of the green trees. I'll get her some of these white trees. I'll have to stamp them. I'll even color them for you, Aunt Carol. There we go. So let's put this one together, shall we? And I'm going to use tear tape because I need to get another bottle of white glue. So I'm going to put 2 strips here. The young man who did my nails, he did such a fabulous job. I mean, I was so excited because they have these stamps. They're like engraving plates, and they call them stamps. And he's like, oh, which one of these Halloweens? And I'm like, you know, I can't decide. I'm like, you know what? Just put a design on every one of the nails. But to do this blended color, he had to first do like 3 coats of the purple. Then he took this really tiny paintbrush and he blended it up this way. So he did that to all of them 3 times. And then he did the same to the orange and he blended it down. It's absolutely, I was so, you want to, guys, I wish you could see my daughter's nails. They are blinged out with jewels and oh, just fabulous. Fabulous job. So I'm going to close it like this. This comes right over. It is that simple to put together. And look at this. You have a stand-up display card. I mean, that is a great card to sit out for the Christmas. Oh my gosh. I love this. Please let me know what you guys think, because I really think this one just, I know, I don't even know what time it is, how long this video went, but I know it took a while, even with the prep work I did do, but look at that. You know, that is a spectacular card. Now, you could go the extra mile. Where is it? In the kit, they gave us some glitter glue, like Stickles. Do you remember that stuff? You could go the extra mile, and we could stick the glitter. Here, let's just do it. We're going to rub some on the garland. I'm not going to use it like snow. I'm just going to use it to add a little bit of sparkle. And we're going to use it on the wreath. And then you could add a little sparkle to the wee little trees. There you go. Oh, we forgot. We got to do the other house. That would not do. We don't want bah humbug going on in our little houses, do we? I had a neighbor once who put a huge sign in his yard that said bah humbug. He cut it out. I mean, it was massive. It was massive. Spray painted it red and white and hung it up for Christmas outside. Just to be funny. So there. You see that little bit of sparkle in the house? You could also, if you didn't want to do that, put it on the windows and make the windows look like they're glistening with light. So my box card video number 2. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I really want to know what you guys think of this card. I love it. And it really is simple, maybe a little time consuming, but really fun to create. Thank you, thank you, thank you for letting me share my creativity with you. As you can hear me, I get so much joy out of it. I can't thank you enough. So please, if you would like to, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this little card. And if you feel like you're interested, please share my channel with somebody who may be interested. And even if you don't want to do any of that, I invite you to please come back and visit me in my wonderland. Bye-bye for now.